Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. We had Deku. We also had a bit of a time skip, you could say. We jumped ahead by several years, and Deku, he was dealing with quite a bit. He had a lot going on in his life, but we weren't really focusing on him at that point in time. We were focusing about how he got there, how things began to change in his life, and how exactly the world it just went on. And Deku was doing quite a lot. He's trying to manage a company that is steadily growing in popularity and is actually starting to bring in a lot of money. Now, that does mean quite a lot. Deku, however, while he is also trying to focus on developing technology for the future, he encountered Felicia, Black Cat, and he made things quite clear. The chase is over. He's not chasing her, and she needs to leave. Because he could bite her, paralyze her, or induce paralysis, and drop her off at a police station, or he can just throw her out the window right now, and save him half of the effort. Now, Black Cat obviously was a bit annoyed. She wanted to talk to Deku. She wanted to go back to the way the old days were. She's not used to dealing with emotions and confronting death. Not the way she did. And Deku does still have a lot going through his mind. The things that happened with Adriana. The things that happened in his marriage. The fact that he wasn't there for Cindy or even his daughter the first moments of her life. I mean, he's mourning the loss of Ben, he's angry at Julia, and he's afraid of everything he's done so far in his life, where it's led him to and what's happened with all of it. I mean, right now, being Spider-Man, it's definitely needed, but at the same time, so is him stepping back and being with his family. Now, things are a bit rocky, and right now we do actually have about a year later. Things have gotten a bit better, but they're still odd. Right now, Deku does at the table, and he actually is trying to do a lot with his tech. He is sitting there, and he is twisting around a screwdriver and talking about it. As Cindy does actually still go to sit there. Her talking about how Inko seems to actually be having a lot more fun with her powers. Her right now sitting on the ceiling as Inko is crawling along. And Deku, he doesn't want to look up. Him with a power dampener in his hand. Yeah, she does. Uh, you okay? Her looking down at Deku. Him looking up. Yeah, it's just little little paranoid right now. I got her, okay? Don't worry. Besides, I can react fast enough to dodge a bullet. I think I can catch a falling baby. It's not her falling I'm worried about. I know. I got it. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's durable. I mean, she. I really don't want to find that out, though. Yeah, I'd rather not either. So, can you get her down, please? I'm trying to focus on this and that. Right now, Cindy gonna throw out her hands. Her going to lower herself down and gonna let go. Her actually going to walk directly under Inko. Her bring out her hands as Inko doesn't want to look down. Her, right now, making a bit of a fuss about falling. And Cindy just trying to make things quite clear. However, she's stubborn. And right now Cindy is going to leap back onto the ceiling, grabbing her baby, and getting her to stop sticking to it. Before she actually is going to fall back down. Her going to make at least a comment about exactly how brave her daughter was. And Deku just wanted to smile as he set this thing down. Okay. So far that one's good. Right. So, let's see. Okay. Things have definitely been better, but things have been worse. Hmm. Hey, huh? Are you done? Yeah, I'm just putting the finishing touches on this. Why? Because you had an appointment today. Right, right. I was meeting with my doctor. Thanks for reminding me. I thought you remembered. No, it's just I got something coming up soon and I want to unveil some tech. I'm kind of a little bit more focused on that, but I'm I'm okay for right now. You sure? Yeah. Let me just hang on. Crap. Was that bad? No, it's just hang on a minute. Okay, that's bad. Oh god, that would have been bad. Okay, they're putting something back on. Him going to start adjusting and talking about it. Going to actually hand it back over to Cindy. There. She's gotten everything correct now. He'd have to adjust it though. The last one burnt out. It did? Yeah, it really shouldn't be capable of doing that. Listen, I don't exactly know how it inhibits the powers too much, but I don't want it to be a painful thing, so I am trying to nullify the effects of her powers, but I need to make a new battery. That's a bit of a next invention. Better, smaller batteries. Hmm. Might be a good slogan, though, but eh, well, technically, that's a bad idea. Ooh, that could work, though. Are you done? Huh? Right. When's my appointment? You got 30 minutes. Oh, thank God. Okay, I need to get to the helicarrier. They're going to turn and go to walk into the next room. Him grabbing some of his spider gear and going to head out. And right now, Deku, he is taken aboard the shield helicarrier. As Deku, he was quite happy. He got off of a jet and talked about a few things. Him walking into the actual craft and starting to at least go through a few things. Security protocols, security alerts, verification of credentials, the whole nine yards. And Deku, he's a bit used to it at this point. Before he finally does to walk into a room and sit down. Him going to bring his hand up and pull off his mask. As Deku, he does want to look up and see his doctor. Are you ready to begin today? Uh, yeah, I am. Correct. So, how have things been since our last visitation? Uh, they've been, a bit good, I guess. I mean, nothing really has changed other than the whole situation I've already explained before. Yes, Felicia. And exactly how are you feeling about all that? Honestly, that's still a bit strange to me, because, I know Cindy. I know Cindy's been through a lot, but I don't want her to feel jealous or mad, insecure, worried about much. I don't know. I, uh, I try to understand her emotions and go through things that way, but sometimes I don't think I know what she's thinking. And, that's sort of strange, even though me and her are together now. And how have things been since the, incident with her? Right. That. Let's cut back to several months ago. Deku, he was right now sitting at home, and he was definitely having a bit of a day. He was working for hours, a lot, that week, and things are definitely a bit tiresome. He was exhausted, and he didn't really want to do any superhero work. And Cindy was a little busy that day. And Deku doesn't remember if exactly Black Cat was tailing Cindy or if she just knew she was not going to be home that day. And Deku, yeah, he did quite a lot. He was a stay at home dad for the week. Well, weekend. So there was that. And he definitely was relaxing, trying to rest and recover. However, also trying to make sure things with the company go well. Things are on the straight and narrow path. Everything works out fine. And that was how Deku, he was preoccupying his time. He was doing quite a lot. And fact was, his daughter was asleep, resting and tired. She definitely seemed to be energetic lately, but he didn't know what that was about, so luckily, it's nap time. Speaking of naps, him laying down, and at least trying to think. Okay, so, right. They got all the food, they got everything, diapers. Huh, everything's taken care of. Ah, okay. So, hmm. Deck just laying there. Before his eyelids grow a little bit heavier, and he does find that staying awake gets a little bit harder. Before Deku does eventually fall asleep. And right now, Deku, he does want to wake up. Him feeling a bit of pressure on his chest, and a bit more annoyed. He tries to move, but he feels the pressure move as well. And Deku, he does want to go to open his eyes. I'm a bit tired, as... Crap, how long was he asleep? Hey, sit. Him and someone going to stare up, seeing that Cindy isn't Cindy. And right now, Deku does go see Black Cat. Her sitting on his lap. How did you get in my house? That is not the right question. No, no, it is. And, okay. So, my question is what, where, where are my clothes? Yeah, that. Listen, I thought we talked about all this. We did, but I was not really ready yet. I am now. Yeah, you see, that's not really the problem here. Okay, I'm going to turn my head, and second off, I'm going to ask you to get off me. Before I. Before you what? Again, can we hang on 1 second there? They go looking back up to the therapist. I'm trying to ask exactly if all of this took place in the same evening? Yeah. And, we're not really getting to the crazy part yet. You've never told me it with quite this much detail. I was a bit more in shock, I guess. Uh, yeah, it, definitely was a strange day. But I guess I've just been trying to come to terms with everything, I guess. You have been doing better. I have noticed improvements. And after some of the things that you have told me about, I'd say you're further ahead than you realize. Am I? But I don't feel any closer ahead. Progress often feels like that. you don't notice it, but everyone else will. I appreciate that, I guess, but do you think I could. Actually, I'm more curious to hear about the rest of this. You are? Yes. It definitely is a bit of a rare insight to hear more of the story than I was told. So, if you would please continue as far as you're comfortable with going, as I should specify. Right. So, anyways, Black Cat and I were sitting there. Deku trying to think. Okay, well, he's him gonna actually throw out his hand. Him gonna shoot a spider web, bring it on to Black Cat. And she actually gonna throw out her hand. Her gonna grab onto it and lean forwards. Deku actually going to bring his hand up and right now go to throw his hand outwards, grabbing onto her shoulder and going to actually lunge forwards, biting his teeth directly onto her shoulder. Black Cat letting out a sound, as right as someone, they walked up to the door and opened it. And Deku, he immediately does a turn and lower her to the ground. As Deku, he actually is trying to think. Okay, okay, he needs to. How does he deal with the situation? Izuku, of course, it just had to get worse. Her gonna walk in, and right now Deku's gonna turn. Cindy gonna turn her head and look at him. Hey, how are her looking down, seeing? Oh, what the hell is going on? Okay, I can explain most of it. Is that her gonna walk over? And right now she actually is gonna bend down. Her gonna grab her by the hair and pull her up, seeing the bite marks in the side of her shoulder. Her putting a few things together, along with the fact that she is wearing a spider web. So, Cindy right now is a bit annoyed, screaming at Black Cat as Deku's gonna turn and walk away. And Cindy, she does want to give Deku the third degree, but from what she found, she just walked in at the right time. So, Black Cat, yeah. She was found later webbed to a street lamp outside of a police station, and it quite simply had a few things written on her. A few explicit things written, and that did say quite a lot. And Deku definitely knew not to bring that up for the rest of the day. So there was that. And Cindy was a bit more annoyed. She wanted to say something about it, but finally letting her go to jail, that might be the better option. She's just obsessed. Now, the therapist just tried to ask if the two ever talked about their emotions about that. We have. I upgraded security around my home. And I also. Well, I. You what? I kinda thought about turning her over to S.H.I.E.L.D. You do realize that S.H.I.E.L.D. custody is only for supervillains, correct? She steals people and she's a hired goon. Correct, but I believe that S.H.I.E.L.D. they would take her in, but they would underestimate her. Possibly see her as a low priority. Even then, anywhere we probably sent her, she'd come back. Or find a way to escape and cause a bigger problem for us. So, you don't want her because she's a con artist and escape artist and she's able to manipulate people. We never said that. Honestly, I don't even believe I can trust S.H.I.E.L.D. sometimes. I will have that noted. Can you not write that down? Well, distrust of this organization is actually a lot more common nowadays, so noting it down is as simple as saying you sneezed. Or you just cried. It's notable, but nothing noteworthy. Does that happen a lot? More than you would expect. The person gonna write something down. And Deku does continue. He got things right with the company, but he still had the nightmares. He still remembered a few of the things that bitch did to him. Izuku, if you would please change your wording. Right, sorry. I just. I got a little temperamental. Yes, I understand. The subject we can avoid today if you. No. I. I remember. People started getting spider powers, and I was there. I was a monster. Izuku, you were not in control. Do you remember this? It's all fuzzy, but I remember, yeah. My body was just moving on its own. I was trapped. I made to watch. I tried to fight and scream out, but I felt this pressure in my being. I don't know. I was just a puppet. Of course you were. However, she used you for a purpose until she couldn't find a purpose anymore. And you said you also experienced torture. Yes. I'm sorry. Exactly what kind? I mean, they just took samples from us, test all the time, and it was more mental torture, but they just played games with me. I was forced to fight and train until I collapsed. I see. You've mentioned several fights before, but exactly. Let me ask, how long is the longest you've ever had to fight? Before under mind control, or just in general? Let's say under mind control. Because Shield does have an instance report stated that you fought before for an extended period of time. Right. I guess that was about 9 hours, maybe? It's all hazy, but I know I got exhausted and the sun went down around the time. I see. Was the moon out or anything? Or it was just dark? I didn't see a lot of stars in the sky around the time. I assume so. Okay. And, anything else troubling you? Not really, but I've just been spending some time at home and dealing with a few things. I try and do what you say and set aside at least one day of the week where I don't do any spider things or work things, and it's been helping. I see. A mental health day. It does appear that superheroes do need a lot. And I suggest you possibly take more. Really? Yes, Izuku. I'm going to be very blunt with you, and I'm going to keep this off of the record. Unlike said distrust of S.H.I.E.L.D., your job is not easy. It's difficult, it's challenging, and it comes with a lot of territory to walk through, go through, navigate. There's always a bigger fish. I don't get it. You're a superhero. People will try and hunt. The bigger fish always goes after the little guy. But you take down the bigger fish. You get stronger and better too. And you're seen as a bigger fish. However, to some of these people who are larger than the threat you just faced that you took an agonizing amount of time to defeat, there's always someone stronger. Someone who might gobble you whole. And you just escaped the feeding frenzy. So I suggest you possibly take more time And remember, if there is a threat you face up against, then you might need to be careful. I'm always careful. I mean, more so than usual. You're stressing out, and your last attack, it it hasn't happened in a while. I just I know I can remain calm. I'm sure you can. However, you've been put under a lot of stress in a short period of time. You might not realize it, but these things can manifest in different ways: nightmares, dreams, hallucinations, and distress is also manifested in other ways. Have you been having an outlet properly? I've been practicing my martial arts, if that helps. I would say go for a walk or working out, but you can bench press 30 tons. So, yeah, I suggest you practice more. Possibly look into meditation. I know some shield agents, they've done it before, and they say it works wonders for them. And possibly it might help you. Right. All right. Well, was there anything else? No, I think I'm fine. Really? Yes. Izuku, you've been avoiding the subject of Ben and Kane. You've also avoided Julia. Anything in particular about those three? Can we save that for next time? I will not push. If we're going to be wrapping up early, then just keep a few of the things that we've said in mind, and I'll see you next time. If you want to schedule an appointment with me right now, I am free next week. I thought this was only once a month. Usually it is, and it wasn't at the beginning, but we moved you to once a month because we thought it would help you. But I see that we need more progress, and I do not wish to push, but this is me reaching out to help you more. Give you more time and more things to focus on. A bit more to space out the session, but also get better progress. I I don't know. Are you saying that you don't want to talk about Julia? Or the emotions you have towards her? I'm I don't know what to say to her. Is that what you want me to say? She murdered Ben. She They're gonna standing up. Him gonna stop mid sentence and just walk out. And the doctor does make a note. A very long one. Now, Deku does head back home. And he does actually try and do a few things. He got something to bring back. And the family, they had tacos for lunch. And right now, Cindy was a bit more happy that they were taking some time. Deku, he was definitely happy to relax. Though he does have to be ready for something soon. And that is a bit more tricky. As Izuku, he wants to show off some more tech, and hopefully secure more funding for some projects. Maybe even create more things. I mean, so far the lab is almost totally independent, and that is nice. But there's that one little phrase almost. So they gotta fix that. If Izuku can stay the head of his own company, then that would help. And Izuku, he definitely wants to help build the future. And right now, Deku, he does just sit there. Right now, him holding on to Cindy, as the two, they're watching a movie. And their daughter, she actually is asleep in her crib. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.